The Promised Neverland stirred up some serious excitement. The first season back in 2019 was a major success. Fans were hooked, and it quickly built up a seriously dedicated following. But then came the second season, and it totally let the fans down. So, why the big disappointment? Well, the main problem lay on how the second season handled the storyline. See, the first season did a fantastic job of sticking to the manga, following it almost to a T. But the second season, it decided to go on a wild tangent, ditching some seriously crucial parts from the manga. And we're not talking about just filler stuff, but important bits that were the glue holding the whole story together. Season 1 was a pretty faithful adaptation covering chapters 1 to 37 of the manga and nailing the essence of the story. But Season 2 messed up big time by rushing through chapters 38 to 181, totally skipping vital sections right after the Promised Forest arc. It was like pulling the rug from under the manga's plot. One huge miss was sidelining the royal family, the big baddies of the series. In the manga, their big reveal and the whole Norman saga was a game changer. It added depth, showing Norman's character evolution from innocent to someone way more complex and colder. But the anime? Nope. It glossed over this critical part, leaving manga fans scratching their heads at the odd deviation from the source material. Plus, it missed the chance to properly introduce the royal family, leaving non-manga readers feeling puzzled and unsatisfied. And then there was the major diversion from where the anime had Isabella searching for our escapees from the Gracefield farm. It seemed like a potentially cool storyline twist, but it didn't go anywhere significant. The return to Gracefield arc, a huge deal in the manga, was kind of brushed off in the anime. This part was spread across several chapters in the manga, offering an immersive and rich storytelling experience. But in the anime, it was done in a single episode, leaving us feeling a bit let down and rushed. The first season got the tension and excitement just right, but the second season completely missed that mark. The anime skipped the whole underground discovery part with the flesh-eating plants, which was a cool detail from the manga. It also skipped scenes that showed the kids learning about the outside world through books. These changes kind of watered down the characters and the core of the story from the original manga. As the episodes went on, they kept skipping or changing major stuff. They cut out important characters like Yugo and left out plot points like the Seven Walls, which were pretty vital to the manga and would have added depth to the anime storyline. In episode 4, they played around with the hideout, leaving out crucial details that were in the manga. They even altered the whole thing with William and what he revealed about the human world. It was a different story compared to the original material. But episode 5, they decided to skip 3 whole story arcs, which meant they missed out on a significant character development, key storylines, and moments that fans loved. They completely missed out on the beloved Goldie Pond arc, which was all about character growth, action, and some serious emotional depth. It was a real blow to the series. Why did they make all these changes? Well, that's a mystery. Some say it might have been about money and resources. Those skipped arcs were probably action-heavy and might have needed a lot of resources and cash. Another thought is that without new manga sales to push, the anime team might have felt pressured to wrap up the story early or take a different creative direction. There isn't much official word about all these differences. There was a hint about changes announced during the Jump Festival in 2020, but there's been little clarification from the author or the anime studio about why they made such big changes. There was this anonymous animator who hinted that maybe the author was the one behind the changes, but it's not clear how much the author was really involved in the adaptation. Sometimes authors are all up in the adaptation process, other times they're hands off. Despite all the backlash and negative reactions from fans, some people did like how the anime highlighted the other characters apart from the main ones. This whole shift from the original manga left a lot of die-hard fans bummed out and scratching their heads about why these changes were made. It was like watching a roller coaster that suddenly ran out of track. The anime veered off from the manga's path, leaving fans disheartened and feeling like they missed the thrill they'd signed up for. Clearly, Season 2 of The Promised Neverland had its fair share of problems, and one of the most glaring issues was the rushed pacing. This fast storytelling veered away significantly from the original manga, leaving fans feeling dissatisfied. Norman, a pivotal character in the series, particularly felt the impact of this hasty approach. In the manga, a significant plot point revolved around Norman's apparent self-sacrifice, which led everyone to believe he was gone for good. However, the truth was that Norman was alive and kicking, and his reunion with his friends happened after about 80 manga chapters. Sadly, in the anime, this entire saga was crammed into just 7 episodes, stripping it of the emotional depth and character development that made it special in the manga. The disappointment didn't stop there. The hurried pacing became painfully obvious in the final episodes, with a particularly unsatisfactory ending. The anime attempted a redemption arc for Isabella, but it felt unearned and poorly executed compared to the manga. Isabella's reunion with her children lacked the depth and authenticity that fans and viewers were hoping for. But one of the most significant changes in the anime's ending involved Emma. In the manga, Emma makes a powerful sacrifice by giving up her memories to allow her friends to escape to the human world, showcasing her selflessness and deep love for them. However, the anime took a different route, showing Emma returning to the demon world on a mission to save other children and farms before reuniting with her friends in the human world. This alteration received criticism for feeling underwhelming and failing to capture the essence of the manga's ending. The unsatisfying conclusion of the second season of The Promised Neverland couldn't have been more different from the manga's ending. The anime's final episodes also suffered from rushed storytelling, unearned redemption arcs, and a lack of emotional depth. While the manga's ending also had its criticisms regarding pacing, it still managed to maintain a level of sacrifice and emotional weight that the anime couldn't quite deliver. To make matters worse, the anime's production faced significant delays and challenges, resulting in the final episode essentially becoming a clip show. This disappointing ending further highlighted the pacing and adaptation problems that plagued the entire second season. The decision to skip crucial story arcs from the manga also played a significant role in the season's downfall. The omission of pivotal moments and character developments left fans feeling disconnected from the plot and its characters. The royal family's absence in the anime not only weakened the overall narrative, but also left fans without a proper introduction to the series' main antagonists. The anime's decision to give Isabella a new role ultimately amounted to nothing, further contributing to the season's lackluster storytelling. The letdown with The Promised Neverland Season 2 clearly hit hard, especially with how it all wrapped up. You see, the anime's conclusion veered off from the manga and it just didn't feel right. There were these redemption arcs that felt unearned, lacking the depth that made the manga so powerful. Remember that big moment where Emma makes a sacrifice in the manga? Well, in the anime it was changed, and it just didn't hit the same way. Fans were left feeling a bit unsatisfied with how it all ended. On top of that, the pacing felt rushed, and it seemed like there were some challenges in production. It just didn't hold up to the quality we expected from the first season or what the manga had set as a standard. It took a different route from the manga, which in the end weakened and ruined the whole plot. It left a lot of us wishing for the depth and complexity that made the manga so engaging. For those who loved the first season, my advice would be to turn to the manga for a more fulfilling experience. The second season of The Promised Neverland just didn't quite cut it. It had the chance to keep that thrilling and thought-provoking narrative going, but unfortunately, it fell short.